And I don't understand how people, you can look at this stuff happening and you cannot see what's going on.
Israel, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Shalom, brothers, sisters, everybody doing the work. It's a lot going on right now. Stay focused, stay sharp, stay meditating, stay praying, stay keeping the law, stay fasting, all that. It's another episode of HOI News. Well, the Most High, he's making it happen. You understand? Well, the latest in Middle Eastern news is that a nuclear scientist out of Iran, I'm not even going to pretend to try to say his name, got killed. They saying it was an armed assault. Bombs were thrown and people with machine guns, but then it came out that they had one of those automatic military rifle made in Israel, by the way, they said, that would shoot by itself. Like on the movie Jackal, if you remember that movie, it was in the funeral scene, it was a gun, like a gun that was just shooting by itself. Salakia, that was law-abiding citizen. That's what that was. Law-abiding citizen, if you remember that part in the funeral. So, regardless, that's what happened, and he got smoked, and his bodyguards got smoked too. And that's a big deal because that's their top nuclear scientist. That's like, they said he is the head of the nuclear program over there in Iran. They killed him. They said they giving him a martyr's funeral, just like they did Soleimani in January. They say, yes, we are retaliating. Are you serious? Of course we are. Why wouldn't we retaliate? You know what I'm saying? Don't forget, they retaliated after Soleimani's death. And they bombed U.S. base back to the Stone Age, and over 100 U.S. military personnel had traumatic brain injuries. You know what I'm saying? That's serious. You know, like, possibly, like, they could be vegetables right now. We wouldn't know. All they's left it as is traumatic brain injuries. But, yeah, Iran's going to strike back. And it's a time period between now and when Biden comes in. Because, you know, when Biden comes in, he's going to want to, you know, negotiate and talk about, you know, their nuclear program and how to, like, slow it down a little bit. Trump knows this. Israel knows this. And they said Israel's the top of the list of person that did it. You know, United States, they said the Zionists. So it was Israel, the United States, and Saudi Arabia is involved. Saying when they retaliate, that's who they're retaliating on. Make sure you're keeping them law, statutes, commandments.
The trail is going down. Meet me in the mall. It's going down.
And in other news, the coronavirus. 90,000 people in the United States are currently hospitalized with the coronavirus. 4 million new cases were diagnosed last month, right, in November, doubling the record set in October. Currently, there are 267,000 Americans dead from coronavirus in the United States. So the experts are saying it's going to get worse before it gets better. They're looking at possibly 4,000 deaths a day coming up this winter, 400,000 possible deaths total getting out this winter. Probably more than that. Who knows? These are all guesstimates. Everybody went to still celebrate Thanksgiving, and they're going to celebrate their Christmas, and they get together, hug, kiss, and all that, and spread that Rona all around the family. So it ain't going nowhere.
Ready?
Now let's talk about space, the next frontier, right? Radio bursts have been detected in our own galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy. Okay, now this has happened before. Not in our galaxy, but like far out. They heard some radio burst, you know, quick burst or whatever, and that was like a big deal. Like, wow, we finally heard something. Now they're hearing things in our own galaxy. It's kind of like that movie where the person keeps calling the house and they call the cops like, yo, somebody keeps calling my house and threatening me and da-da-da. They're like, yeah, we detected the call. It's coming from in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, Esau's not feeling too good right now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that are going on around him, and in the sky, he knows his time is short. You understand? Also, in other news, other space news, Moab landed on the moon and collected some space rocks. I guess. I mean, that's breaking news as far as the world goes. Also, there is a mysterious object that's flying around as of right now, and they don't know where it came from. They don't think it's an asteroid because the asteroids normally have you can retrace their steps where they came from. This one comes around every 1,000 years or every 500 years or whatever like that. This one's come out of nowhere. It's just flying around up there in space. So a lot going on. Keep your eyes to the sky. Also in the news today, a man was killed in Detroit after opening fire at the police district down there. That would be the 5th precinct in Detroit. He opened fire with an AR-15, injuring at least one officer before being shot. Also in Germany, a car rammed into people, killing at least 2 and injuring 15.
God is destroying you left and right.
In Salt Lake City, they had a huge monolith come out of nowhere, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the desert, where nobody's supposed to be seeing it anyway. People were surveying the land, looking at the sex of sheep and how they're making out and they're grazing out there in the middle of the desert or whatever in Utah. And then they seen this. I don't say they pulled over, but they landed their vehicle and went to see it, and it was huge. It was metallic. Reports were that it looked metal, but when you knocked on it, it sounded like it was cardboard. Very strange. If you ever seen the movie Space Odyssey 2001, in the beginning, they had something similar to that in that movie. So it just automatically disappeared. Of course, nobody knows where it's at now. It said one came up in Romania. It looked different. It had different edgings on it. And that disappeared too. So, we'll figure out what's going on a little bit. But, the Most High is doing all these signs. Like, they're saying it was an artist. Maybe in Romania. Whatever in Romania. But the one in Utah, nobody's expecting to see that. So why put something in the middle of nowhere that nobody's going to probably ever see? Exactly. Seems a little something to look into. I think the Most High has His hand in that. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll pop up somewhere else. We'll see.
Right.
To the coronavirus news, China is making mockery of the United States, and they're dealing with the coronavirus. China still has on record 4,000 deaths out of 1.4 billion people. The United States, we're at almost 270,000 deaths out of 300 something million people. So China's pretty much released a statement talking about it was actually beneficial for China and North Korea, and it's not for the Americas and Europe, so and also a report came out that the CDC, they said the coronavirus is in the United States December 2019, weeks before it was identified in China. So Trump's going around calling this the China virus. This is possibly the US virus. This is Babylon virus. You know what I mean? So he said reward her double. Babylon's getting destroyed through this virus. And Europe getting destroyed through this virus. So, they you reap what you sow.
God is destroying you left and right.
News, Baltimore public schools have been closed for the second straight day due to ransomware on their computers. I say this every time. A lot's going on. So just make sure you're praying, meditating, you're eating the healthy foods, whatever you put in your body, make sure it's good for you. Fasting, all that stuff's important at this time period. And take the time out to sit there and read the Bible. Definitely take time out to sit there and read the Bible. All right. Some reports, 4 out of 5 Americans are desperate to be cheered up after 2020. I know it's not y'all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that are in the truth. This has probably been the best year of your life. I know mine's. You know what I'm saying? 3 out of 4 say that the constant stream of bad news has taken its toll. I mean, you know, this place has to go for our kingdom to rise. And just stay focused on that, all right? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barakathon. Shalom.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. HOI. To all my brothers in
To the will of God.